Hey YouTube, Rayzer13 here with Deck of the Month of April. It's a little late. I was waiting on a gift from a friend in the mail for the deck, but yeah, little complications arise. So before we get started, I have a couple shoutouts. Actually, really only one that I can think of off the top of my head. It goes to Envy the Clown. He's the guy that jacked OG King 13's channel for like a video or so. He's the guy that makes his own custom cards, and he showed me how to do a couple tricks and stuff like that, and he was going to make me a custom rescue cat, but he let a friend borrow it and he didn't want to take it away from him or something, so he's going to get me another one and make mine soon, so I'll get that in the mail and I'll show it to you guys when I get it. But I did my own version and it does look pretty crappy, so I'm waiting on his. Before we get started, I want to show off a little guest. It's a Chinese dwarf hamster. It's my friend's. His name is Sticky Rice, because her roommate's Taiwanese and she named him. And I don't know, I think he's cute. I like him. Super Nimble Mega Hamster, maybe? No? Alright. He can go back in his home. This is the deck you guys have all been requesting for the last month. It's my Crystalline Cat Synchro deck. It's pretty much Crystal Beast with a Synchro Cat Synchro engine. It's completely mine alone, original, no help whatsoever. It has a pretty good win ratio on Sabersworn, Lightsworn, and Flamebow Cat. I have yet to test it against Glad Beast, but it does well against Machina Gadgets as well with the Oppression engine in it. So let's go ahead and get started. 3 Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. It's a deck thin, it's an 18 beat stick, and it becomes a spell when it dies. It's just a good card. It makes for infinite thinning and pluses. 2 Mammoth is just a beat stick and another Crystal Beast that can become a spell. Same thing with the Tiger, except the Tiger has more of a use because he can become a 2000 or a 2100 or whatever. He becomes a 2000, yeah. I don't know why I keep thinking 21 with that guy, but no, he becomes a 2000. He can get over a lot of the stuff in the format that's considered a beat stick. 2 Cat, because it's searchable with Rescue Cat, and it is a level 3. It makes for good synchroing. 2 Carbuncle, the special summoning of the deck. Like, you special summon this, you get the rest of them out of your back row. It just makes for a good swarming late game. Summoner Monk, he is the synchro part of the deck. I was running him actually in my Crystal Beast before I made it synchro, just because he fetches Pegasus, and it makes it a pretty good plus, because you essentially thin 2 cards out of your deck for ditching a spell card. This tuner engine of my deck is the 2 Air Bombs, because they are searchable with the Cat, and they're 3-star, so they make a 6-star with the Amethyst Cat. And they discard, so they're really good. 2 Flamebow Magician make 8 stars with Summoner Monk and any Crystal Beast other than Carbuncle and Amethyst Cat, and they're untouchable by Bottomless, which is awesome. My Cheshire Rescue Cat. I'm hoping Envy the Clown's is definitely better than mine, because his custom cards are really nice. Like, I like the way he does his thing. And then Crystal Beast support, 2 Dragon Queen. This is what made Crystal Beast somewhat competitive in this format, because the format may be slower, but this card is just infinite advantage because you're constantly doing damage and drawing cards, because you have Bryanak to bounce and clear the way for her to beat face. And like, you hit them and you discard like a Reaper, and then when you hit them as well, you draw a card like Mephisto the Dark General. So she's really good. And she comes out with 3 continuous spells in the back row, and then if she's in the graveyard from being sent there from the field, you pitch a continuous and bring her back. Haman, same thing, 3 Crystal Beasts in the spell trap pretty much, and you send him to the grave. And he's a 4000 beater, which does 1000 if you kill a monster, and if he's in defense mode, he's the only creature that can be attacked. So he's pretty much of an offensive and a defensive card. That's it for creatures, so let me move those out of the way. Onto the spells. 3 Ancient City Rainbow Ruins. Without this, the deck wouldn't be as explosive as it is, because it has card draw, stall, negation, and special summoning. It just gets pluses the more crystal beasts you have in the zone. 1, it can't be destroyed. 2, you have damage. 3, you can negate by attributing the crystal beast you control. 4, you draw an extra card. That's why the bouncing is ridiculous with this. And 5, you get the special summon a crystal beast from the spell and trap zone. So you pretty much special summon the 5th one, which should have been a Carbuncle and Swarm again. 2 beacon for Swarm if you have 2 crystal beasts, special summon 1 from your deck, more thin and more special summon. 2 blessings, so for some graveyard control and some altering the number of crystal beasts in your spell and trap zone. It gets up to 2 out of your grave and puts them into the spell and trap zone. 2 rare value is our it's our recharge basically. I usually pitch it 9 times out of 10 with Summoner Monk, but when I don't pitch it, it never draws into anything bad. It's always a good draws with it. 2 abundance for late game alternate game conditions. It doesn't destroy, it sends, so it gets around Stardust, and it just rapes because you kill their field and then you swarm. It's like a heavy storm followed by a dark hole with infinite, or well, up to 5 monster reborns attached to it. It's pretty retarded. 2 promise for Swarm, and it also, if you first turn Pegasus and search for Pegasus and then play a promise, special summoning the Pegasus in your back row and then fetch another Pegasus, you essentially just thin 2 cards out of your deck for 2 cards in your hand. It's pretty good too. Brain Control, because if you don't run it, then you're not playing competitively. Brain Control is just good. Mind Control, because it's a synchro deck, so you take their face down monster, turn 1, you summon your Air Bomb and you synchro into something. Powder Harvest to recycle the tuning engine. 1 MST staple, and in Crystal Beast you can't run Heavy Storm because it's just negatives all around, especially this build. And you can run Dust Tornado, you can run Twister, you just can't run Storm or Tornado. So I run the 1 Space Typhoon. Speaking of Storm, I ran the 1 Starlight Road just for Storm and Oral Vortex. Storm more essentially, I hate it in this deck. Storm kills this deck, so 1 Road. 1 Force because it's a staple. Torrential is just infinite pluses in this deck because you make your Crystal Beast crystals and you're just like a plus plus plus, and I kill your field, so then next turn I can special summon and destroy you. 1 T-Roar for, you know, decks that might be slightly faster than this, and then 1 Dust Shoot because you do have a lot of draw, so you're gonna see it, and if you open with it, you know, more power to you. That's it for the deck. It's completely original, no online help or anything like that. It's all me. In the synchro deck, you run pretty much your standard stuff. You can make any synchro in the format pretty much, except for like the zombie ones. You can pretty much make Mistform 9 stars. You can make your 8 stars. Pretty much the all-star in the extra deck though is Ancient Fairy Dragon, because people who play field spells, you pretty much get to go fetch your field spell if they have one out already, and if not, you get a free special summon every turn to set up, and it also can show in defense mode, and they can't really kill it. I like it. It's definitely not like the main synchro, that would be Brinac for the bounce combo, but you can make pretty much anything. And if you guys really want to use this deck, like, you can just, I would prefer that you ask me. You don't have to, but at least give me a shout out in the video. And I would appreciate it. Maybe a link in the sidebar, just because this is my deck and I did work hard to make it. And then my sideboard, 2 Magical Hats, a Crystal Counter for Clogging, 2 Dust Tornadoes, Threatening Roar, 1 more Abundance, 1 more Avarice, 2 Feather of the Phoenix, 3 Crystal Release, and 2 Diamond Dude. So the deck can side out from a Synchro Engine if I go against a stun deck, and I side back into Crystal Abundance Turbo. The Magical Hats, you guys are like, why the hell is he playing Magical Hats? Turn 1, if you summon a Pegasus, and you get a Crystal Beast in your back row, and you set Magical Hats, when they swing over with a Garroth or a Wolf or something that gets buffed like a Solidarity Gadget, and you Magical Hats, you put your Pegasus face down and 2 spell or traps, 2 spells from your deck. You pick the Crystal Release, put them face down and shuffle them. If they don't destroy them, they die at end of turn, and you get a Crystal Beast anyway. So it's just another plus factor in the deck. That's it for the deck and the side deck. Rate, comment, subscribe, and please just give me a shout out if you're going to use the deck. I would really appreciate it. If you have any tips or anything like that, let me know. Rate, comment, subscribe. Peace.